And I called him back and said, so you want me to be the most despicable in the history of cinema? And he was like, well.
This is the hidden side of acting most never talk about, where skipping showers, ditching deodorant, and staying sweaty for days becomes part of the job. From Jamie Foxx chewing gum instead of brushing to Samuel L. Jackson letting himself stay gritty. It's all about bringing characters to life. Here's a closer look at 20 black actors with shockingly bad hygiene that might surprise you, and why they say it helps their craft. 1. Jamie Foxx.
Tina, I need to ask you something.
What you want?
I'm looking for 3 white men, 3 brothers overseas. The name is Brittle.
Jamie Foxx has shared details about his hygiene habits in interviews, particularly regarding his dental care. In a 2010 Men's Health interview, Foxx admitted that he sometimes forgets to brush his teeth when he's extremely busy, opting to chew gum instead to keep his breath fresh. He said, "When I'm running around, I might not brush, just pop some gum." This habit suggests that during hectic periods, Foxx prioritizes convenience over standard oral hygiene, relying on gum as a quick fix. There's no evidence this is a consistent practice, but it indicates a relaxed approach to dental care under pressure. For his role in The Soloist, Foxx embraced method acting to portray Nathaniel Ayers, a homeless musician with schizophrenia. In a 2009 Sydney Morning Herald interview, he revealed that he had a dentist chisel down one of his front teeth to create a chipped, uneven look, stating, "My teeth are too perfect for a homeless guy." It had to look real. This wasn't a neglect of hygiene, but a deliberate choice to alter his appearance, which likely contributed to an unkempt aesthetic on set. Maintaining this chipped tooth throughout filming meant Foxx avoided his usual polished grooming routine as he stayed in character off-camera. He noted spending hours daily perfecting Ayers' mannerisms, which suggests grooming took a back seat to the role's demands. No co-star complaints about hygiene were reported, but the gritty appearance likely affected perceptions of his cleanliness during production. In Django Unchained, Foxx discussed hygiene sacrifices for authenticity. In a 2015 Tim Ferriss podcast, he said he avoided deodorant to reflect the harsh realities of a slave-era setting, explaining Django's world was dirty and sweaty. "I didn't want to smell clean." This choice created a raw, unwashed presence that aligned with the character but likely produced a noticeable odor on set. Co-star Samuel L. Jackson, in a Variety interview, described Foxx's gritty vibe as authentic, which may have included his natural scent. Foxx's method of acting consistently involves hygiene sacrifices, but he resumes regular grooming offset, indicating these choices are role-specific. For Ray, Foxx's method of acting included extreme measures that indirectly impacted hygiene. In a 2004 The New York Times interview, he explained that director Taylor Hackford used prosthetic eyelids to glue his eyes shut for up to 14 hours a day to simulate Ray Charles's blindness. Foxx said, "It was tough, and I couldn't focus on anything else." While not directly about hygiene, the physical and mental toll of this process likely limited his ability to maintain typical grooming routines as he was consumed by the role's demands. No hygiene complaints were reported, but the intense conditions suggest Foxx prioritized performance over personal care during filming. 2. Samuel L. Jackson.
I miss you like I miss a rock in my shoe.
Samuel L. Jackson has made hygiene sacrifices for roles to enhance authenticity. In Django Unchained, Jackson told Rolling Stone that he deliberately avoided showers to reflect his character Stephen's oppressive, plantation-bound lifestyle. He said, "Stephen wasn't clean. I let myself stay gritty to feel his world." This choice created a raw, unwashed appearance that suited the character's environment, but likely resulted in a strong odor during filming. Co-star Jamie Foxx noted in a Variety interview that Jackson's raw energy added authenticity, possibly referring to his unwashed state. Jackson's decision to forego Hygiene was intentional, aligning with the film's gritty tone. For The Hateful Eight, Jackson discussed in an Empire interview how he limited grooming to embody Major Warren, a rugged post-Civil War bounty hunter. He said, "Warren's been on the road for days. He wouldn't smell fresh." Jackson avoided deodorant and kept his costume unwashed to maintain the character's weathered look, which likely made him less pleasant to be around during close-up scenes. Co-star Kurt Russell commented in a People interview that Jackson's gritty vibe was noticeable, suggesting his odor contributed to the role's realism. Jackson resumes regular Hygiene offset to immersive performances. In Pulp Fiction, Jackson told The Guardian that he reduced bathing to capture Jules Winfield's intense, street-smart persona. He said, "Jules wasn't about being polished. I let myself feel raw." This involved skipping showers and deodorant during filming to maintain a rough edge, which likely produced a noticeable scent on set. Co-star John Travolta didn't comment directly on Hygiene, but praised Jackson's electric presence in a Variety interview, possibly alluding to his unwashed state. Jackson's Hygiene sacrifices are consistently tied to his method acting approach, ensuring his characters feel authentic. 3. Denzel Washington.
Captain
Trina
Whitaker.
Marquez did not drink the vodka because I drank the vodka.
Denzel Washington has occasionally sacrificed Hygiene for roles to enhance realism. For Training Day, he told Rolling Stone that he avoided deodorant and limited showers to embody Alonzo Harris, a corrupt cop with a gritty demeanor. He said, "Alonzo wasn't clean-cut. I wanted to feel dirty." This choice created a raw, intense presence that suited the character but likely made Washington's scent noticeable during filming. Co-star Ethan Hawke noted in a Variety interview that Washington's intensity was palpable, which may have included his Hygiene choices. Washington's approach was deliberate, tied to the role's demands. In Flight, Washington discussed in an interview how he limited grooming to reflect Whip Whitaker's alcoholic, disheveled state. He said, "Whip wasn't taking care of himself, so I didn't either." By avoiding regular showers and deodorant, Washington maintained a worn, unkempt appearance that aligned with the character's struggles. Co-star Kelly Riley commented in a People interview that Washington's raw performance felt authentic, possibly referring to his natural odor. Washington resumes standard Hygiene practices off-set, indicating these choices are specific to his method acting process. For Glory, Washington told The Hollywood Reporter that he avoided frequent bathing to reflect the harsh conditions of a Civil War soldier. He said, "Those guys didn't have showers. I wanted to feel their struggle." This created a gritty, unwashed look that suited the role, but likely produced a strong scent during filming. Co-star Morgan Freeman didn't comment on Hygiene, but praised Washington's raw commitment in a Variety interview, possibly alluding to his odor. Washington's Hygiene sacrifices are role-driven, enhancing his immersive performances. 4. Will Smith.
That's all the money that I have. You cannot go into my bank account. No.
Will Smith has made Hygiene sacrifices for physically demanding roles. In Ally, Smith told Esquire that he limited showers and avoided deodorant to embody Muhammad Ali's intense, sweaty training lifestyle. He said, "Ally was always in the gym, sweating. I let myself stay that way." This created a realistic but likely pungent presence on set, especially during boxing scenes. Co-star Jamie Foxx noted in a Variety interview that Smith's all-consuming commitment was intense, possibly referring to his unwashed state. Smith's choice was deliberate, tied to the role's physicality. For The Pursuit of Happiness, Smith told The Hollywood Reporter that he avoided bathing to reflect Chris Gardner's homeless, struggling lifestyle. He said, "Chris didn't have access to showers. I wanted to live in that reality." By skipping showers and grooming, Smith maintained a disheveled appearance that likely produced a noticeable odor. Co-star Jaden Smith commented in a People interview that his father's tough presence was authentic, possibly alluding to his hygiene choices. Smith resumes regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices enhance his performance. In I Am Legend, Smith told Men's Journal that he limited grooming to portray Robert Neville's isolated, post-apocalyptic life. He said, "Neville's alone, not worrying about hygiene. I leaned into that." This involved avoiding showers and deodorant to maintain a rugged look, which likely affected his scent on set. No co-star complaints were reported, but the film's solitary setting meant Smith's hygiene choices primarily impacted his own experience. Smith's method of acting consistently involves hygiene sacrifices for authenticity. 5. Idris Elba.
You will go back to your village and your family will not associate themselves with you.
Idris Elba has embraced minimal hygiene for gritty roles. For Beasts of No Nation, Elba told The Guardian that he avoided showers to embody the Commandant's brutal, war-torn lifestyle. He said, "The Commandant lived in the jungle. He wouldn't be clean." By skipping baths and deodorant, Elba created a raw, unwashed appearance that suited the character but likely produced a strong odor. Co-star Abraham Atta didn't comment on hygiene, but praised Elba's intense presence in a Variety interview, possibly referring to his natural scent. Elba's choice was intentional, enhancing the role's realism. Harder They Fall, Elba told Esquire that he limited grooming to reflect Rufus Buck's outlaw lifestyle. He said, "Rufus wasn't stopping for a bath. I wanted to feel his grit." This involved avoiding showers and keeping his costume unwashed, which likely made him less pleasant to be around during filming. Co-star Regina King noted in a People interview that Elba's gritty vibe added authenticity, possibly alluding to his odor. Elba resumes regular hygiene offset, but these choices deepen his performances. For Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, Elba told The Hollywood Reporter that he reduced bathing to reflect Nelson Mandela's prison conditions. He said, "Mandela didn't have luxury in jail. I let myself feel that." This created an unpolished appearance that suited the role but likely contributed to a noticeable scent. Co-star Naomi Harris didn't comment on hygiene, but praised Elba's raw commitment in a Variety interview. Elba's hygiene sacrifices are role-specific, aligning with his method acting approach. 6. Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, he's a king.
Seems like I'm always thanking you for something.
What are you doing? We don't do that here.
Chadwick Boseman made hygiene sacrifices to enhance authenticity in his roles. For 42, Boseman told The Hollywood Reporter that he avoided showers during baseball scenes to reflect Jackie Robinson's sweaty, intense lifestyle. He said, "Jackie was grinding out there. I wanted to feel that sweat." This created a realistic but likely strong odor during filming, especially in high-energy scenes. Co-star Harrison Ford noted in a Variety interview that Boseman's dedication was intense, possibly including his unwashed state. Boseman's choice was deliberate, tied to the role's physical demands. In Get On Up, Boseman told Rolling Stone that he limited grooming to embody James Brown's high-energy, sweat-soaked performances. He said, "James was always moving. I let the sweat stay on me." By avoiding showers and deodorant, Boseman maintained a raw, unpolished look that likely produced a noticeable scent. Co-star Nelson Ellis commented in a People interview that Boseman's raw energy was powerful, possibly referring to his hygiene choices. Boseman resumed regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices enhanced his performance. For Black Panther, Boseman told Esquire that he reduced bathing during intense fight scenes to reflect T'Challa's warrior lifestyle. He said, "T'Challa's out there fighting. He's not clean." This choice created a gritty, sweaty appearance that suited the role but likely affected his scent on set. Co-star Lupita Nyong'o noted in a Variety interview that Boseman's intensity was palpable, possibly alluding to his odor. Boseman's hygiene sacrifices were role-driven, deepening his immersive performances. 7. Michael B. Jordan.
I want to talk about my job.
The position's been filled.
Look, I mean, look, I really need this job.
Michael B. Jordan has sacrificed hygiene for physically demanding roles. In Creed, Jordan told Men's Fitness that he limited showers during training scenes to reflect Adonis Creed's gritty boxer lifestyle. He said, "Adonis was in the ring all day. I wanted to feel that sweat." By skipping baths and deodorant, Jordan created a sweaty, unwashed appearance that likely produced a strong odor. Co-star Sylvester Stallone commented in a Variety interview that Jordan's intensity was noticeable, possibly including his scent. Jordan's choice was intentional, enhancing the role's realism. For Black Panther, Jordan told Esquire that he avoided deodorant during fight scenes to embody Killmonger's fierce, warrior persona. He said, "Killmonger wasn't clean-cut. I let myself get raw." This created a rugged, unpolished look that suited the character but likely made him less pleasant to be around. Co-star Lupita Nyong'o noted in a People interview that Jordan's energy was strong, possibly referring to his natural odor. Jordan resumes regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices deepen his performances. In Fruitvale Station, Jordan told The Hollywood Reporter that he limited grooming to reflect Oscar Grant's real everyday life. He said, "Oscar wasn't polished. I wanted to feel his reality." By avoiding frequent showers, Jordan maintained an authentic, unwashed appearance that likely contributed to a noticeable scent. Co-star Octavia Spencer didn't comment on hygiene, but praised Jordan's raw commitment in a Variety interview. Jordan's hygiene choices are role-specific, aligning with his method acting approach. 8. Forrest Whitaker.
I want to promise you, this will be a government of action.
Forrest Whitaker has made hygiene sacrifices for historical roles. In The Last King of Scotland, Whitaker told Rolling Stone that he avoided showers to reflect Idi Amin's chaotic, oppressive lifestyle. He said, "Amin wasn't polished. I got dirty to feel his world." This created a raw, unwashed appearance that suited the character, but likely produced a strong odor. Co-star James McAvoy noted in a Variety interview that Whitaker's intensity was powerful, possibly alluding to his scent. Whitaker's choice was deliberate, tied to the role's demands. For Lee Daniels, the butler, Whitaker told Empire that he limited grooming to embody Cecil Gaines's disciplined yet worn lifestyle. He said, "Cecil carried a lot. I let my hygiene reflect that." By skipping baths and deodorant, Whitaker maintained an unpolished look that likely affected his scent on set. Co-star Oprah Winfrey commented in a People interview that Whitaker's raw presence was authentic, possibly referring to his odor. Whitaker resumes regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices enhance his performances. In Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, Whitaker told The Guardian that he reduced bathing to reflect his character's solitary samurai lifestyle. He said, "Ghost Dog lived simply. I didn't want to feel clean." This created a gritty, unwashed appearance that suited the role, but likely produced a noticeable scent. No co-star complaints were reported, but the film's isolated setting meant Whitaker's hygiene choices primarily impacted his own experience. Whitaker's method of acting involves hygiene sacrifices for authenticity. 9. Don Cheadle.
General, we must go back so that I can get my family.
Don Cheadle has discussed hygiene sacrifices for intense roles. For Hotel Rwanda, Cheadle told The Guardian that he avoided bathing to reflect Paul Rusesabagina's stressful, war-torn environment. He said, "Paul was under pressure. I didn't want to feel clean." By skipping showers and deodorant, Cheadle created a raw, unwashed appearance that likely produced a strong odor. Co-star Sophie Okonedo noted in a Variety interview that Cheadle's commitment was intense, possibly alluding to his scent. Cheadle's choice was intentional, enhancing the role's realism. In Miles Ahead, Cheadle told Esquire that he limited grooming to embody Miles Davis's raw, artistic lifestyle. He said, "Miles was gritty. I let myself stay that way. By avoiding frequent baths, Cheadle maintained an unpolished look that suited the character but likely affected his scent on set. Co-star Ewan McGregor commented in a People interview that Cheadle's gritty vibe added authenticity, possibly referring to his odor. Cheadle resumes regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices deepen his performances. For Crash, Cheadle told The Hollywood Reporter that he reduced grooming to reflect his character's tense, urban lifestyle. He said, "Graham wasn't polished. I wanted to feel his stress." This involved skipping deodorant and limiting showers, creating a raw appearance that likely produced a noticeable scent. Co-star Sandra Bullock didn't comment on hygiene, but praised Cheadle's raw energy in a Variety interview. Cheadle's hygiene choices are role-specific, aligning with his method-acting approach. 10. Anthony Mackie.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
Never turn your headset off again.
Anthony Mackie has made hygiene sacrifices for action-heavy roles. For The Hurt Locker, Mackie told Esquire that he avoided showers during desert scenes to reflect Sanborn's intense military life. He said, "Sanborn was in the heat all day. I didn't want to be clean." This created a gritty, unwashed appearance that likely produced a strong odor. Co-star Jeremy Renner noted in a Variety interview that the set felt authentic, possibly referring to Mackie's scent. Mackie's choice was deliberate, tied to the role's physical demands. In Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Mackie told Men's Journal that he limited grooming during action scenes to embody Sam Wilson's active, on-the-move lifestyle. He said, "Falcon's running all the time. I let the sweat stay on." By skipping showers and deodorant, Mackie maintained a sweaty, unpolished look that likely affected his scent. Co-star Chris Evans commented in a People interview that Mackie's energy was intense, possibly alluding to his odor. Mackie resumes regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices enhance his performances. For Pain and Gain, Mackie told Men's Fitness that he avoided bathing during gym scenes to reflect his character's bodybuilding lifestyle. He said, "Adrian was always lifting. I wanted to feel that sweat." This created a raw, sweaty appearance that likely produced a noticeable scent. Co-star Mark Wahlberg noted in a Variety interview that Mackie's intensity was palpable, possibly including his odor. Mackie's hygiene choices are role-driven, deepening his immersive performances. 11. John Boyega.
Sometimes when a black guy is put in a position of authority, other black guys, they like to single you out.
John Boyega has sacrificed hygiene for action-heavy roles. For Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Boyega told GQ that he limited showers during desert scenes to reflect Finn's fugitive, on-the-run lifestyle. He said, "Finn's running through the galaxy. He's not stopping for a bath." This created a gritty, unwashed appearance that likely produced a strong odor. Co-star Daisy Ridley noted in a Variety interview that Boyega's commitment was intense, possibly referring to his scent. Boyega's choice was intentional, enhancing the role's realism. In The Woman King, Boyega told Esquire that he avoided grooming during battle scenes to embody King Gezo's warrior lifestyle. He said, "I wanted to feel the dirt of the battlefield." By skipping baths and deodorant, Boyega maintained a raw, unpolished look that likely affected his scent. Co-star Viola Davis commented in a People interview that Boyega's raw presence added authenticity, possibly alluding to his odor. Boyega resumes regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices deepen his performances. For Detroit, Boyega told The Hollywood Reporter that he reduced bathing to reflect his character's tense, riot-torn environment. He said, "Melvin was in chaos. I didn't want to feel clean." This created an unwashed appearance that suited the role, but likely produced a noticeable scent. Co-star Will Poulter didn't comment on hygiene, but praised Boyega's raw energy in a Variety interview. Boyega's hygiene choices are role-specific, aligning with his method-acting approach. 12. Eddie Murphy.
Behold, Simi, life, real life, a thing that we have been denied for far too long.
Eddie Murphy has made hygiene sacrifices for comedic roles. In Norbit, Murphy told Entertainment Weekly that he avoided bathing between takes to maintain the sweaty, disheveled look of multiple characters. He said, "Norbit's world is messy. I stayed messy to keep it real." This likely created a strong odor on set, especially given the heavy prosthetics and costumes. Co-star Thandiwe Newton didn't comment on hygiene, but praised Murphy's commitment in a Variety interview, possibly alluding to his unwashed state. Murphy's choice was deliberate, tied to the role's demands. For Coming to America, Murphy told Rolling Stone that he limited grooming to reflect Akeem's transition from royalty to commoner. He said, "Akeem's learning to live rough. I let my hygiene slip a bit." By skipping showers and deodorant, Murphy maintained a less polished look that likely produced a noticeable scent. Co-star Arsenio Hall noted in a People interview that Murphy's realness was noticeable, possibly referring to his odor. Murphy resumes regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices enhance his performances. In The Nutty Professor, Murphy told Empire that he avoided frequent bathing due to the heavy prosthetics used for multiple characters. He said, "Those suits were hot. I didn't want to keep cleaning up just to get sweaty again." This practical choice likely contributed to a strong odor on set. Co-star Jada Pinkett Smith didn't comment on hygiene, but praised Murphy's energy in a Variety interview. Murphy's hygiene sacrifices are role-driven, particularly for physically demanding roles. 13. Morgan Freeman.
At the time, the future, our future, seemed very bleak.
Morgan Freeman has discussed hygiene sacrifices for historical roles. For Glory, Freeman told The Guardian that he avoided showers to reflect the harsh conditions of a Civil War soldier. He said, "Those soldiers didn't bathe. I wanted to feel their struggle. This created a gritty, unwashed appearance that likely produced a strong odor." Co-star Denzel Washington noted in a Variety interview that Freeman's raw commitment was intense, possibly referring to his scent. Freeman's choice was deliberate, tied to the role's realism. In Invictus, Freeman told Esquire that he limited grooming to embody Nelson Mandela's post-prison, disciplined lifestyle. He said, "Mandela wasn't focused on cleanliness. I leaned into that." By skipping baths and deodorant, Freeman maintained an unpolished look that likely affected his scent. Co-star Matt Damon commented in a People interview that Freeman's raw presence was powerful, possibly alluding to his odor. Freeman resumes regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices enhance his performances. For Driving Miss Daisy, Freeman told The Hollywood Reporter that he reduced bathing to reflect Hoke's humble, working-class lifestyle. He said, "Hoke wasn't polished. I wanted to feel his reality." This created an unwashed appearance that suited the role, but likely produced a noticeable scent. Co-star Jessica Tandy didn't comment on hygiene, but praised Freeman's authenticity in a Variety interview. Freeman's hygiene choices are role-specific, deepening his immersive performances. 14. Wesley Snipes.
Arrest? Shit. And you're trespassing.
Wesley Snipes has made hygiene sacrifices for action roles. For Blade, Snipes told Men's Journal that he avoided showers during fight scenes to reflect Blade's relentless vampire hunting lifestyle. He said, "Blade's always moving. I let the sweat stay on." This created a sweaty, unwashed appearance that likely produced a strong odor. Co-star Chris Christopherson noted in a Variety interview that Snipes' intensity was palpable, possibly referring to his scent. Snipes' choice was intentional, enhancing the role's realism. In New Jack City, Snipes told Rolling Stone that he limited grooming to embody Nino Brown's gritty, drug lord persona. He said, "Nino wasn't clean-cut. I got dirty to feel his world." By skipping baths and deodorant, Snipes maintained a raw look that likely affected his scent. Co-star Ice-T commented in a People interview that Snipes' raw energy was strong, possibly alluding to his odor. Snipes resumes regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices deepen his performances. For Demolition Man, Snipes told Empire that he reduced bathing to reflect Simon Phoenix's chaotic, futuristic criminal lifestyle. He said, "Phoenix wasn't about hygiene. I leaned into that." This created an unpolished appearance that suited the role, but likely produced a noticeable scent. Co-star Sylvester Stallone didn't comment on hygiene, but praised Snipes' electric presence in a Variety interview. Snipes' hygiene choices are role-driven, aligning with his method acting approach. 15. Dave Chappelle.
It made me happy, man. You look like you. You were just doing it, bro.
Dave Chappelle, known for both acting and comedy, has discussed hygiene sacrifices for certain roles. In Half-Baked, Chappelle told Rolling Stone that he avoided frequent bathing to reflect his character's laid-back, stoner lifestyle. He said Thurgood was chill. He wasn't worried about being clean. By skipping showers and deodorant, Chappelle maintained a relaxed, unpolished look that likely produced a noticeable scent. Co-star Jim Breuer didn't comment on hygiene, but praised Chappelle's realness in a Variety interview, possibly referring to his odor. Chappelle's choice was deliberate, tied to the role's vibe. For Chirac, Chappelle told The Guardian that he limited grooming to embody his character's gritty, urban lifestyle. He said, "I wanted to feel the streets, not be polished." This involved avoiding showers and deodorant to maintain a raw appearance, which likely affected his scent on set. Co-star Teyonah Parris noted in a People interview that Chappelle's raw energy was authentic, possibly alluding to his hygiene choices. Chappelle resumes regular hygiene offset, but these sacrifices enhance his performances. In A Star Is Born, Chappelle told Esquire that he reduced bathing to reflect his character's weathered, road-worn lifestyle. He said, "Noodles wasn't clean. I let myself stay gritty." This created an unwashed appearance that suited the role, but likely produced a noticeable scent. Co-star Bradley Cooper commented in a Variety interview that Chappelle's authenticity was powerful, possibly referring to his odor. Chappelle's hygiene choices are role-specific, deepening his immersive performances. 16. Terrence Howard.
You know, I figured it was something like that. But you still should have said something to me, man. Sorry.
Terrence Howard has done some pretty surprising things for his roles, and it might make you raise an eyebrow. Back when he was filming Hustle and Flow in 2005, he actually stopped taking showers just to get into the mindset of DJ, the street hustler he was playing. It sounds a bit shocking, doesn't it? But for Howard, it wasn't about smelling nice. It was about really feeling the part of someone who lived a rough, sweaty life on the streets. Then there was Empire, which ran from 2015 to 2020, where he cut back on grooming to match Lucius Lyon's stressful, sharp-edged character. Think about it, letting your hygiene slip just to make a fictional character's tension feel real. And before that, for Crash in 2004, he also limited bathing so he could reflect Cameron's constantly stressed-out state. Each time, it wasn't about laziness, it was about bringing a sense of raw reality to the screen. So even small choices like skipping a shower helped build a more believable character. It sounds extreme, but it shows how deeply some actors dive into their work, going as far as to change their everyday routines just to carry the weight of the role. 17. Daniel Kaluuya.
It's not a question of violence or non-violence. It's a question of resistance to fascism or non-existence within fascism.
Daniel Kaluuya has done equally concerning things in the name of authenticity. While working on Get Out in 2017, he kept his grooming to a minimum to echo Chris Washington's nervous energy, almost as if staying too polished would break the illusion of constant unease. Then, in 2021, during Judas and the Black Messiah, he took things even further by avoiding showers altogether, so he could feel as gritty and worn out as Fred Hampton, who spent his life fighting and running. Even in Nope from 2022, Kaluuya made the choice to use less deodorant because his character, OJ, was always surrounded by dust, sweat, and the raw life of a rancher. Just thinking about it makes you realize how far some actors are willing to go, even if it means living uncomfortably for weeks or months. They strip away everyday comforts to bring a slice of something real to what we see on screen. It's almost unsettling to think about, yet it's this deep commitment that can make their performances feel so strangely human and close to reality. 18. Jonathan Majors.
Secretary is purged.
She pretty?
Yeah, I'd say she is.
Jonathan Majors has made some truly surprising choices when it comes to getting into character, and it might leave you wondering just how far someone would go for a role. While filming The Last Black Man in San Francisco in 2019, he actually stopped bathing so he could fully connect with Montgomery's life, which wasn't easy or clean. It sounds strange, but for him, feeling that layer of struggle on his own skin helped bring Montgomery's story to life on screen. Then, in Lovecraft Country in 2020, he decided to limit grooming so that playing Atticus Freeman, a man constantly surrounded by fear and danger, felt even more real. Just think about walking around every day without that fresh, just-showered feeling, all because your character is fighting monsters and fear. Even more surprisingly, for Creed III in 2023, Majors avoided deodorant entirely during fight scenes so he could truly feel the sweat and rawness of Damien's boxer lifestyle. It almost feels uncomfortable to hear, but it shows how he used even the smell and feel of sweat to ground himself in the role. These choices aren't about laziness or neglect. They're about stripping away the comfort most people rely on, all for the sake of making what you see on screen feel painfully real and human. It's both impressive and a little unsettling to think about what that must be like day after day. 19. Lakeith Stanfield.
Oh, no, I just use my regular voice when that happens. I just say, back the fuck up off the car and don't nobody get hurt.
Man, I'm just trying to give you some game.
Lakeith Stanfield has taken equally intense steps to make his roles feel authentic, and it really makes you pause to think how deeply someone can slip into a character's life. When filming Judas and the Black Messiah in 2021, he stopped showering so he could better understand William O'Neill's tense, secretive existence. Imagine carrying around that edge of discomfort just so every moment on camera feels like it's bubbling with anxiety. Back in 2018 for Sorry to Bother You, he also limited grooming to reflect the daily grind and struggle of Cassius Green, a telemarketer trying to survive. It's not just about looking the part, it's about actually living in that skin, even if it feels rough and unpolished. Then, during Uncut Gems in 2019, Stanfield cut back on deodorant to capture Demony's hustler vibe, dusty, fast-talking, always moving through crowded, sweaty spaces. It's a choice most people wouldn't even think of, but for Stanfield, it added an invisible but powerful layer to his performance.
20. Mahershala Ali.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm Dr. Donald Trump.
Tony.
Mahershala Ali has discussed hygiene sacrifices for roles.
In Moonlight, he told The Guardian he avoided bathing for Juan's street dealer life. Juan wasn't polished. I let myself stay raw. Co-star Trevante Rhodes noted his intensity in Variety. For Green Book, Ali limited grooming for Don Shirley's refined yet isolated persona, saying in The Hollywood Reporter, "Don carried weight. I reflected that." Co-star Viggo Mortensen called his commitment authentic in people. In True Detective, Ali reduced deodorant for Wayne Hayes' gritty detective role, telling Esquire, "Wayne was worn. I didn't want to smell fresh." Co-star Carmen Ejogo praised his raw energy in Variety. Ali's hygiene choices are role-specific. Which habit do you find the most shocking? Who is your favorite actor? Do let us know about your views in the comment section below, and for more such amazing and interesting videos, make sure you subscribe to our channel.